It's got the heart, it's got humor, it's got the romance. You get a little taste of what was coming with heading back to Hope Valley. Watch her do her thing all the time and learn from just her presence on set. A little look inwards and an opportunity to connect to the people around you can be so clarifying. If anything, I had to take a little something off of it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Heart in Motion podcast. I'm so excited to be talking with Ben Rosenbaum today. Hi, Ben.
Hi, and well done on the pronunciation of my name.
Thanks for giving me some possible options there. So hopefully I got it right. I'm so excited to be talking about your new movie that airs this weekend on November 30th, Sunday on Hallmark, The Christmas Cup. It's actually going to be airing at 6/5 Central and had the privilege already of talking with Rhiannon. So I'm so excited to
Oh,
catch up
lovely.
with you as well. So we're
I'm so
excited.
glad you got to talk to Rhiannon. She's fantastic.
She's exceptional. Um, what we know a little bit about the movie, we know that she plays a Marine who comes home and she teams up with a local fire captain, Quinn, who is played by you. What else can you tell us about the movie?
I would tell you that it's got, I think I got a great text from my manager after he watched it, and he said it's got all the feels. And I was like, yeah, I guess, when making it, I wouldn't necessarily have like tracked each moment of each different feeling that it might evoke at any given time, but like on the whole, when you watch it all cut together, it really does have, it's got the heart, it's got humor, it's got the romance, it's got a deeper sort of message about finding your place and belonging and what it means to serve your community. So it's got a lot going on in it.
I love that you've got a Marine and a fire captain. These are pretty high stakes jobs that require, a lot of community involvement, and that, you've brought this in for a Hallmark movie. So I love that take on it.
Yeah, and then we take all the high stakes and stress of those jobs, and we channel it into some snowball fights and string light untangling and eggnog chugs and other Christmassy games for the Christmas Cup.
That's fantastic. So when you first read the script, Ben, what was it that about Quinn that you said, this is what I want to get right with Quinn as the character?
Um, I think for me, it derived a lot from him being a fire captain. There's a certain well, certainly a command, but I think a really grounded strength to him and a stillness that I think was important to me to maintain in this role. And I was initially drawn to the way that he really wears his heart on his sleeve.
Mhm.
I think oftentimes in rom-coms you can get characters kind of getting in their own way by trying to play games or overthink something or not take the bait too quick or anything like that. And what I really admired about Quinn is that he's pretty straightforward. He's got the confidence to just stand there on his own 2 feet and tell you, "Hey, I think you're pretty great, and I'd like to hang out some more."
So anybody that follows you knows that you play Mike Hickam on When Calls the Heart. I imagine it sounds like what you're saying that he maybe plays a little bit, Quinn may be a bit different than Mike Hickam. So
Yes.
how would you say that Mike Hickam and Quinn are different? And what did you like about playing that difference?
Um, well, I love Mike Hickam, and I've gotten to live in his at times nervous energy and his generosity and his community spirit and his joy. But he is, I think, as compared to the stillness that I wanted to find in Quinn, I think Mike has a lot of frenetic energy, and that can lead to a lot of humor. It's a lot of fun playing Mike, and it feels like he is also very just kind of open with his wants and needs, and wants to be there for people. Also wants to serve his community, but there is that signature difference, I think, is that sense of confidence. And Quinn really knows his own mind and like has been through a lot, and so has really like I think a very strong perspective and worldview. He knows what's right for him, and it allows him to be there for others in a really solid way.
Got it. Did you have to do any sort of like special research knowing, okay, I'm going to be playing a fire captain? Or were you like, I'm reading what's on the script?
Yeah, I think as I read the script, I realized that most of the technical aspects and maybe more emergency services elements of being a firefighter weren't really going to come to bear
Yeah.
in the course of this Christmas movie. So I didn't worry too much about making sure I had all of that
Yeah.
down. But I think for me, it was about uh, being a pillar of the community
Yeah.
and really digging into what it means to carry the expectations of a community in that way. And so that's what I wanted to find and bring to this role.
And just making sure that your snowball fight aim is right on, right?
Well, that one came naturally for me because I grew up playing baseball. So
There you
that
go.
wasn't, if anything, I had to take a little something off of it when we were filming
Dial
those
it
scenes.
back.
Yeah, yeah, didn't want to hurt anybody.
That's right. So this is your first role as a lead on a Hallmark. And so I'm curious what kind of advice you maybe got from those around you that have already served in other lead roles.
Great question. I am lucky to be surrounded by people who play leading roles on in Hallmark all the time. Um, and I've also had the benefit of now 13 years of time spent on the When Calls the Heart set. And so it's a very comfortable place for me to be. I felt like I was really ready for this. I think at a had I had this opportunity when I was younger, I probably would have gone into it with a lot of nervousness and anticipation and excitement that you kind of have to like, that would have been hard to play that stillness of Quinn
Yeah.
through all those nerves. And I found that on this, showing up on this set, I just felt very comfortable and at like I was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, a lot of that experience is getting to work with and watch, you know, of course, my wife, Erin Krakow, is I think the best they've got,
I agree.
and I get to watch her do her thing all the time and learn from just her presence on set is a really was a great teacher for me, seeing how a lead behaves. And Rhiannon is cut from the same cloth. I mean, she really it trickles down. That energy that comes from the number one or the lead on set really affects how everybody feels and how everybody works. And she is a consummate professional and just brought a smile to everybody's faces all day long. So following in her lead, following her lead there, and then the people I work with on When Calls the Heart, Cavan, Pascal, Chris, Kevin, Kayla, Andrea. I mean, the list goes on and on. People uh, who are doing leads in these movies all the time. So I think I really by osmosis
Yeah.
got a lot from all of them.
So you mentioned Rhiannon. She's done several Hallmarks. What was
Oh yeah.
that first initial like meeting with you guys and that collaboration? What was that like?
Delightful. You never know where you're going to start in terms of the filming process or what those first meetings are going to be. In our case, for this one, we started with the all the photography for the poster. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like get together and cuddle up and get ready for a photo shoot. And luckily, as you said, she's a veteran of these movies, so she knows how to make that a comfortable space from the first moment. And she's so welcoming and warm and friendly that it was easy to be around her and to kind of settle into that kind of safe, comfortable zone where we could um, get to know each other very quickly. But we didn't have the kiss, not to spoil where things go in this movie for people who've never seen a Hallmark movie. Um, the kiss didn't come until the very last. It was the very last thing we filmed So we had the entire length of filming to kind of actually get to know each other and become friendly
Yeah.
before the most intimate moments of the movie. But and you never know where that's going to land. Sometimes that
Yeah.
can be early
Second
on, and it's
days,
kind of
I've
the
heard.
first thing
Yeah.
you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like there was a really natural progression to getting to know each other and learning how each other works.
And I heard you had about 15 minutes to maybe shoot that scene at the very end.
Yeah, yeah. Rhiannon remembers that being a very short process. For me, I think it was my first time filming the that moment at the end of a Hallmark movie, and so for me, it just was what it was. But she knows how long she typically would get, and apparently we didn't get a ton of time on this one. So um, I have gotten to see the movie though, and I feel like we nailed it. I think people are going to be happy with where we ended up.
I'm sure it'll be great. You mentioned that and Hallmark has done just an enormous amount of cameos this season, and you mentioned five of your When Calls the Heart pals that are going to be in this one. I'm curious, how did that go? How did that happen where these five ended up in this movie?
Well, I think some of the how is just the standard, you know, casting process. We had Natasha and Jada, two of our When Calls regulars, playing larger roles in this, not just cameos, but full-on principal roles.
Yeah,
And to my knowledge, they auditioned and got these roles. And then the cameos were a combination. I think our executive producer, Brad Cravoy, is also the executive
yeah,
producer on When Calls. And so I think there was something there where he recognized an opportunity to bring in more When Calls people into the fold. And then for Andrea, it was actually just a happenstance. It was a coincidence that she happened to be in Kelowna for a wedding, and she reached out and texted me just to see if I was around for a coffee. And I said, "Well, I'm actually busy filming, but if you want to come over to the set, we could squeeze you into this scene." So that was a fun little surprise for everyone.
that is awesome.
Yeah,
So then having them on set, I mean, what was the vibe? Same, different, when you're with them 3 months
so
out of the
fun.
year on When Calls the
Yeah,
Heart?
so fun to have them there, and it felt like a little preview. We shot this just before starting season 13 of When Calls, so it was um, it was really fun to get to see them and to get a little taste of what was coming with heading back to Hope Valley. And in the case of Pascal and Cavan, I've gotten to work a lot with them over the years on When Calls the Heart, and Andrea and I have had several scenes and over the course of many years. But actually, Natasha and Jada are two people who I don't work a ton with
It's true.
unless we're in group scenes together. But I don't get a lot of opportunities to work with them one on one. And so this movie was actually like I got to do more with them in the scenes of this movie than I typically get to do on When Calls the Heart. So it was really fun for me to get to spend more time with them and work with them more. And they're both so fantastic in this movie. They really are two of the brightest lights on the screen for this one. They kill it in these roles.
That's amazing. I wouldn't expect any less from those two, so from any of them. Do you have, and I know you can't spoil anything, but do you have a favorite moment or something that you're really excited for everybody to see?
Yes, I I hope it isn't boring to anybody who's listened to me answer this before, but it really is a signature moment for me in the movie when Kelly, played by Rhiannon, arrives home for the first time after being discharged from her military service, and she gets home and the house is quiet and the lights are dim and the Christmas tree lights are on, and so there's this like beautiful, warm, colorful glow, and she has this slow walk. Like it was a really patient shot that pays off in my mind. That it just creates this environment of Christmas coziness and that feeling of coming home, and it captures it so beautifully. And it's this like fairly long, quiet moment, and it there's so much going on in her face and so much in the coziness of that space. It really like it's so beautiful. I could just sit in it for the length of the movie.
really setting the stage for that inner conflict that she's having about being
100%.
home.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I look forward to seeing that. What are three words that you could give us about this movie?
Sorry if there's a leaf blower going outside. I hope that isn't.
I can't hear it. You're
Okay,
great.
great, great. Okay. All right, leaf blower is not one of my words.
Okay, we'll take it back.
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
I sure can. Do you have three words to describe the Christmas cup?
Oh, okay, okay. Um, Festive, competition, fun.
I love it. That's great. So, what do you hope at the end of the movie is the big takeaway for anybody showing up to watch?
Great question. I I think that there are a couple things going on in this movie that are really lovely and relatable. Um, and the main one, of course, is the through line for Kelly's character, Rhiannon's character Kelly, which is this question of where home is, what defines that for you, and what does it mean to find purpose in the world? And, it's going to be different for everybody, but
Yeah.
it's a question worth grappling with. And that's what she's doing in this movie. And she really leans on her family and friends and the people she loves to help her. They kind of hold up a mirror for her so that she can see more clearly um, where she's been, where she's going. And I think she finds that for her, she needs to get out of her own way. And I think
Yeah.
that that's a really relatable feeling. There have been times in my life, certainly, where it's like you're feeling stuck or you're not sure where to go or what you're doing. And so often a little look inwards and an opportunity to connect to the people around you can be so clarifying. So I would hope that people take away from this movie that um, it's important to define for yourself where home is and who that is for you.
Can I tell you that that was Rhiannon's answer as well?
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
nice.
passed the test, Ben. I'll let her know. That was awesome. Hey, I just want to mention also, you're going to be at the Hallmark Christmas Experience week
That's right.
three. Yeah, I'll be
Yes.
there. So we're
Oh,
so
fantastic.
excited. Yeah, there last year, going back this year. So excited that you're going to be joining with everybody else. So you ready to be there?
Excellent. I'm so excited to be there. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of energy, maybe a little overwhelming, but super fun. I'm really excited.
And if you've talked to Kevin or Kevin, they've probably told you that there's a lot of couscous. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
so get ready for it. Well, Ben, it's been awesome to talk to you. I want to remind everybody that's watching or listening that the Christmas Cup is going to air this Sunday night, November 30th, on the Hallmark Channel at 6, 5 Central. And then you can watch it the next day on Hallmark Plus. Always great to chat with our favorites from When Calls the Heart as well. So excited to see you in this movie. And gosh, January 4th is not too far away either for When Calls the Heart. So
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a busy, busy couple of months.
yeah, yeah. Well, thanks so much, Ben, and look forward to watching the movie.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you in Kansas City.
Sounds great. All right,
All
bye-bye.
right. Take care.